Alright guys, what's going on? Welcome in. In this one, I wanted to really talk about some storylines, right? Some interesting storylines that I'm personally going to be monitoring as the days and weeks go by throughout the course of Jets training camp. Let's be honest here. This training camp period is imperative for the New York Jets if they want to have success next season. Okay, there's so much positivity with this team, with the new additions in free agency, with the absolute haul that Joe Douglas walked away with in the NFL draft. Zach Wilson going into year 2, Mike LaFleur, how the Jets looked at the back half of last season, right? Everything is trending up with this football team. But with that said, the NFL is not just going to be handing out wins, right? You don't win games in the off season, right? You just upgrade your team. You just give your team a better chance to win moving forward. And this schedule is it's tough. You know, Baltimore, Green Bay, Denver, Buffalo Bills twice, Miami Dolphins made a lot of moves twice, New England twice. There's tough games. Pittsburgh, Cincy, who are in the Super Bowl. The Jets have got to be on it this season, okay? So, you know, yes, last year's training camp was awesome. All the new faces, starting a rookie quarterback, system changes on both offense and defense, 4-3 on defense, West Coast on offense. Just so much. I think it actually sold out in like a matter of minutes, or it could have been in the first day. It was crazy. This training camp, same level of awesomeness, but I do feel like there is a heightened sense of I don't want to use the word pressure, but it's just like the stakes are higher. You know, 4 wins is not going to cut it in 2022. That's just the bottom line. Okay, so again, tons of things trending in the right direction. Let's talk about some of these storylines. Okay, so the first big one for me, how does Zach Wilson look, right? Where is he at as far as his progression, his growth as a quarterback in this league? He was drafted 2nd overall. He has the arm strength. He has seems like the mental makeup. It seems like he really wants to be a great quarterback. He has the mobility. It seems like the team really rallies behind him as well, you know, with the recent Idaho trip. But not only just Zach Wilson's growth, but where is the chemistry at with the offense? You know, supposedly it had some great days in minicamp and there were some rocky days. That's to be expected. But as long as the chemistry is there, you know, guys are where they need to be in their given routes, in their given blocks. Zach Wilson, you know, is he putting the ball where it needs to be? Is there a 50-50 from both sides, or is it one person carrying the load? Is there a lot of work on? Is there, you know, sloppy drops, overthrows? You know, I really feel like the chemistry has got to be there. It's got to be crisp. It's got to be sharp if the Jets want to be able to hang in and go toe-to-toe with Baltimore week 1. I mean, the entire AFC North is stacked. We got to play them right out of the gate, first 4 weeks of the season. I know Deshaun Watson might not be there, but I'm not writing off Cleveland, not in the least. Still a stacked squad. So again, chemistry with the offense. Where does Zach Wilson kind of stand picking up the offense? Verbiage. You know, does he have more command of the system? Everything would tell you yes. Common sense would tell you yes. I think it's going to be an issue if he doesn't, or if he's regressing or something, you know, horrible like that. But, you know, I think right now it's pretty safe to say that, much like a lot of things on this team, Zach Wilson and the chemistry of the offense is going to be trending upwards, moving through training camp. Okay, so next up, storyline number 2 here. I think this is going to be key for the Jets moving forward. Health, right? Where do the players stand health-wise? The Jets have a ton of talent that was hurt last year. You know, look at the combined games missed from Mekhi Becton, Carl Lawson, Vinny Curry, LaMarcus Joyner, Corey Davis. You know, it's a long list of players. That's not 1 or 2 guys. Like, all those guys are, you know, at least at the time, starters. You know, Vinny Curry, I guess, was kind of, you know, on the bubble there as like a starter or a backup, but, you know, he was going to see playing time last season, no doubt about it. I really think it could have made a difference if Carl Lawson played in 10 games, if Becton was out there 16 games or something like that. You know, Marcus May didn't get hurt down the stretch. Corey Davis didn't get hurt midway through the year. I think if we just had the health last year, the win-loss record probably wouldn't have been so bad. But where are these guys at now? You know, I haven't heard a peep about Lawson or Davis or Joyner, Curry as well. You know, I think everything with these guys is looking great. The only question mark here, and I hate to say it, it's Mekhi Becton. That's the one player, at least that I can recall over the past couple of weeks and months, that I've seen negative reports and negative headlines. Size concerns from the organization. Is he overweight? I mean, there was a report even like before the draft. Oh, he's never going to wear a Jets jersey ever again. I mean, the list goes on with headline after headline surrounding Mekhi Becton. I just want to see him on the field. I'm a big believer in Mekhi Becton. I love the upside. We all saw what he did at Louisville. We all saw what he did, that first season. He was a road grader, Mount Becton, Highway 77, had all the nicknames. Peers around the league really respected his game. He played like a top left tackle in football in year one. So if the health is there and he is in shape, then the Jets are in a fantastic position moving forward. But until we get to that point of clarity, that some closure here, it's going to continue to be talked about, continue to be asked over and over. How much does he weigh? Is he in shape? What's he doing to prepare? What's he doing to get healthy? How's the knee? It's one thing after another. I'm kind of sick and tired of talking about Mekhi Becton and his health. I just want to see him out on the field. But overall, how healthy are these players for the New York Jets right now? Okay, so next up, storyline number 3 here, positional battles, right? And funny enough, I actually have a video kind of talking in depth about this, going through every single positional battle. It should be coming out either tomorrow or the next day, we'll see. But this is big, right? We just talked about Becton. What's happening at left tackle? Is it going to be Becton or Fant? The rumor right now is the loser is going to move over to right tackle. Joe Douglas didn't make that major move for tackle in free agency. He didn't trade for a guy. He didn't draft one in the first 3 rounds. He ended up selecting Max Mitchell out of Louisiana. I like that pick a lot. But year one, I'm not really counting on him to be a starter. Okay, so again, if Mekhi Becton is healthy, if he's ready to go and he can compete, the outcome of that battle is going to be monumental for the Jets offense moving forward. Okay, now I love the acquisition of Laken Tomlinson on the inside, playing him at left guard, moving AVT over to right guard. I think that's going to be big to help out whoever is playing left tackle, but who is going to win that spot? It's not just left tackle though. We're talking safety. Jordan Whitehead was brought in, great, but who's going to be the other one? Is Jason Pinnock, the recently converted cornerback to safety, going to be a starter? Is it going to be former 3rd-round pick Ashton Davis? Maybe Will Parks steps up. Maybe it's veteran LaMarcus Joyner. I would say right now it's probably going to be Joyner, but in any case, safety is still kind of up in the air. What else? Weak side linebacker, Jamian Sherwood, Hamza Najaldeen. Will the Jets go out and sign maybe a Quan Alexander? We've talked a lot about him on this channel. You guys have brought him up over and over and over again down below in the comment section, and it's a great idea in my opinion. He signed a 1-year contract last year, just over $1 million. Guy plays in 12 games, starts in 8, puts up pretty respectable numbers. Given the circumstances, the Saints are not a bad team, not in the least. And this guy was out there making plays left and right. He's not a top 10 linebacker, I get it, but if we're talking $1 million at a position of need, and by the way, he knows the system, he knows Robert Saleh. At one point in time, he was a big money free agent acquisition for the San Francisco 49ers and Saleh's defense. A handful of years ago, and of course he's not the same player, I get it, but it's not that, if the Jets were to bring him in and he loses the job or he's not productive, it's like, okay, well, we're out $1 million, not the end of the world. But yes, safety, linebacker, left tackle, there's a couple other positions, but I do want to make a note. I think certain positions like running back, Michael Carter, Breece Hall, I think whoever wins that spot, it's not going to be like a Dalvin Cook situation or a Derrick Henry situation where you got one running back taking 80-90% of the snaps and then the other one just gets the scraps. I think it'll be more spread out, especially given how Mike LaFleur and the 49ers offense likes to run with multiple backs, kind of feeding everybody, not necessarily equally, but everybody sees some carries throughout the course of a game. But overall positional battles, it's going to be huge. And last but not least, how are the rookies progressing? Okay, we talked about Zach Wilson before, overall offensive chemistry, but the Jets are putting a lot of responsibility On first-year players, Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, Jermaine Johnson, okay, all three, Breece Hall, all four of those guys are projected starters. Okay, big positions here: D-end, corner, running back, wide receiver. Important stuff here. Okay, a lot of responsibilities. And then, of course, in the back half of the draft, Michael Clemens, Jeremy Rucker, Max Mitchell, three guys that I love the upside. Year one, not super concerned with getting them in the lineup or forcing them in the lineup. Luckily, those guys tackle, or Max Mitchell is kind of debatable here, but in the case of Rucker and Clemens, for those guys, in their favor, they have some veteran options in front of them. There's not that immediate pressure, immediate need for them to play. Oh, you got to come in and get 5 sacks, right? There was pressure on Michael Carter last year to come in as a late round pick at corner. There was tons of pressure on Michael Carter, the running back. Okay, Zach Wilson, Elijah Moore. The Jets put a lot of responsibility on the rookies last year. It's looking like it's going to be the same this season, but again, luckily, it's not everybody. It's not like we're counting on the entire class to come in and be Pro Bowl players or anything like that. But for me, those are just kind of the main bullet point storylines that I'm going to be watching. Of course, there's a ton of smaller ones that we can dive into, and I definitely go through a longer list of positional battles in the video that's going to be coming out pretty soon. But yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. What are you looking forward to? What's your biggest storyline, your biggest thing that you're going to be watching? And are you going, right? Are you going to the Jets training camp? I know they released a couple days. I think tickets are on sale. I'm going to have to double check on that. And then, of course, the green and white game is always a lot of fun. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. And as always, go Jets.